What's going on, everyone? So, LeBron James is out for anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks. I really do think that will be kind of predicated on like how do the Lakers perform? How do they play? Obviously, if the Lakers can win some games, kind of weather the storm without LeBron James, then it doesn't have this urgency for him to rush back. But big thing you have to keep in mind also with LeBron, he needs to play at least 65 games in order to qualify for all NBA, first team, second team, third team, whichever he does, any accolades that he may accomplish and achieve, especially with as good as the Lakers have been and how good he has been this year. He may be in the voting pool for some of these things. And you never know how those votes can be swayed and whatnot. Luckily, LeBron James has already played 58 games, so he only needs to play 7 more games, right? So he can miss a pretty good chunk here. He can miss the next, 11 games. And then as long as he finishes and plays the last 7 games of the season, the Lakers would be in good shape. So it's just something to keep in mind. But also, you want LeBron to be as healthy as possible. The Lakers said themselves when this came out, they're going to take their time. They're not going to rush this process because I've talked about it before when it first happened, right? Like, I don't care how good the Lakers are. Come playoff time, if you don't have a healthy LeBron and you don't have a healthy Luka, it's irrelevant, right? Like the second seed and all that stuff, that would be great. I would love to have it, but it's a vanity metric, right? If the Lakers are the 5th seed, but go and win the championship, then who cares, right? At the end of the day, it's irrelevant. Right? No one cares about what the seeding is as long as you win a championship. Obviously, I would love to have home court if you can end up getting at least the 4th seed. Right, so let's say LeBron misses 8 games or something like that, or 9 games, and then we're able to kind of win, 7 out of 8 down the stretch, or 6 out of 8, and we're able to end up getting, say, the 4 seed, then perfect, right? The only reason I want the 4th seed at least is just for home court in that first round. Chances are Lakers are probably playing either Houston or Memphis in the first round if they were to finish in that 4 or 5 range. So that's something to kind of keep an eye on. I like the Lakers in both of those matchups, if I'm being honest. I worry about Memphis a little more just because they do have size, like with Edey. Edey's not that like 20 and 20 guy yet, right? But he is a big physical interior guy that can rebound and cause the Lakers some problems. And then Triple J, I think, matches up well, especially for a center and a big man, right? So do think they could pose some issues there, but their style of play and the way that they play, not really too concerned with, and it translating well come the regular season. And especially if you can get home court, kind of gives you a little more wiggle room to, if you have those kind of struggles, if you have those little hiccups, you can then go and move into making those adjustments without missing a beat, right? Where if you're on the road, a little more pressure, you got an extra game on the road that you have to kind of work your stuff out before you get there. But Rich Paul was recently on the Pat McAfee show, which I always think it's funny when, like, I understand Rich Paul is LeBron's like right-hand man and his agent and stuff like that, but I always find it funny that like everyone always asks Rich Paul like, oh, when is LeBron coming back? Like he's the training staff, like he's the Lakers organization. Like, yeah, I mean Rich Paul, he has some say, he has some pull, especially because of LeBron James. But I just think it's like he's not a doctor, right? Like, but to his credit, he did answer it pretty well, I think. So he says, James agent Rich Paul of Clutch Sports commented on the injury during an appearance on the Pat McAfee show and wasn't willing to put a timetable on the potential returning, deferring to LeBron and his training staff. I think you have to manage it. Obviously, you see the reports that are out there, and you have to pay attention to LeBron in terms of his post-game interview. He knows his body better than anybody, so we kind of have to follow him there. But look, he's playing a lot of basketball. All these guys are coming off of the Olympics. They're playing across our league. So there's been a lot of basketball played. For the older guys that have this type of injury, you have to manage it properly. Unfortunately, AD had the same thing, a little bit different. And LeBron even mentioned that as soon as he did it, the second thing he thought about was that. So you have to manage it with grace. Obviously, the Lakers have a tough schedule coming up. I think they have 6 games in 8 nights or something like that. And they play some pretty top-heavy teams. They have the 6th most difficult schedule to finish the season out. It's tough. Look, they have a lot of work to do, regardless of whether he's there or not, just with the roster. But those guys have been playing an unbelievable brand of basketball, and JJ has those guys prepared. They lost the other night. By not being prepared. I didn't think they executed well on either side of the floor. They were not able to beat the Nets last night, but that comes from, I think, in some cases, not respecting your opponent. This is still the NBA, and anybody can beat you on any given night. But you have to handle that with grace. I won't put a timetable on it. I'll let LeBron decide what needs to be done there. He has a great trainer and medical staff with the Lakers, and Mike McConis leads that for him. I'll just be lockstep with those guys. So basically, he'll be along those guys. And look, he's right. Right? Like, it's not up to him. LeBron James said he'll be fine. LeBron James, said he's not worried about it. If LeBron is, I said that immediately after the postgame, right? When I made the video over on As It Stands Lakers, I was like, hey, look, if LeBron's not worried about it, we shouldn't be worried about it, right? Like, LeBron, he's one of those guys. I think the rest is good for him. Rich Paul is also right in the sense of like, hey, the Lakers have, the Lakers, LeBron James has played a ton of basketball, a lot of basketball, right, between the Olympics. And it wasn't one of those things where he was just out there kind of coasting, right? Like, no, he was playing and was their best player. The guy that was like helping them close and stuff down the stretch. Obviously, Steph came alive towards the end of that run, that gold medal run. But LeBron, for all of the preseason of that, or all the exhibition games, all the way through the actual games, he was the guy, right? And they deferred to him. He was closing games, finishing games, winning games. So he was playing, right? He wasn't just like there just for namesake. So you got that element of it. LeBron's played, like I said, 58 games, which I imagine he's going to play. I'm not worried about him playing the 65 games. It's just, will he play more than that or not? Right? I think I could see the kind of wiggle room. But it ultimately, again, I default to how do the Lakers play and perform. If the Lakers are really good, and, obviously the Nets lost, not a good start, but, so they have the 6-game stretch coming up, right? With back-to-back and stuff. If they go like 3-3 during that stretch, cool, right? It's good. Not great, right? Obviously, it's not ideal, but given the circumstances, you got a bunch of guys missing and out. LeBron's out. They're working through some stuff. Luka's still trying to get settled in. If you go 3-3 in that, great. You weathered the storm. Then you got, a little break, and then you got, luckily the games kind of ease up a little bit. You got like the Bulls a couple times. You got some of these like bad teams a couple times towards the back end of this month, and then into April. April, you do still have like the Thunder twice. You do have some of these teams that you still got to play, but you got like this 8-game stretch that is just tough. You get through that, then you got a couple games that you should win. I could see LeBron kind of coming back, maybe towards the end of the month, or like, at the tail end of the month going into April, to kind of just get himself right. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? If you what are your thoughts? Do you think that LeBron James, he'll take his time, take your time, get back, get right. Rich Paul, what do you think about him commenting on it? Obviously, he's asked the question, he has to do it, but I do think it's interesting that people always seem to ask Rich Paul all the questions. Like, dude, like, I'm the agent. I'm not the, I'm not the trainer. I'm not the doctor. I'm not some medical expert. I don't know. Like, yeah, sure. I'm sure he's talked to LeBron and been like, hey, buddy, like, what's the deal here? Like, how's it going? What's going on, right? But we'll see. Time will tell. Either way, it's one of those things where hopefully LeBron's back sooner rather than later. But if the Lakers can handle their business, then you don't really have to worry about that. So we'll see. But anyway, again, how you feel, whatever thoughts are, let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you like this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.